Okay, so I went ahead and I changed from for sale, what's for sale, and I switched over to recently sold, just so I can get an idea of what has sold in the neighborhood. And so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to look closer at these and see what these sold for. So my average, and you'll see this on the spreadsheet, my average cost per square foot, just doing it without seeing a house, just based on, Zestimates and square foot, is $90.37 per square. This house sold at $97 per square. Okay, so you can see, you can get an idea, and unless somebody's nitpicking you, you'll never know. This one sold at 96. This one is our subject property that we're doing our numbers on. You can see it sold at 15. This one sold at $38 a square foot. Now this is one I'm going to take a close look at when I do get into my comps. Okay, we know this house has been fixed. This is the one we're comping, but it sold for $16,951 from bank auction. And when you go into the pictures, just the outside looks decent. You have vinyl siding, roof looks, relatively new. I can tell by looking at the back, the windows need updated. Okay, don't know what's going on with any kind of foundation or anything like that, pressure washing. But when you come here, here's where you can tell, okay, I'm gonna need a full update. If the house looks like this, more than likely the whole house looks like this. And just by looking at the pictures, I could see, okay, here's an old register, it's old carpet, has no baseboards, all old wood. It's gonna need painted. Um, don't know about these light stuff, but you can tell that, okay, this house is dated. When was this house built? This house was built in, let's see if it'll tell me. 1940. Now, it doesn't quite look 1940 in there, but it looks very 1970s, yes. That's how a lot of the houses looked on the inside since 1970. So, I mean, you're talking about 30, 40, 50 years since the last time this house was probably updated. So, basically, on the inside, that is, it's a full update on the inside. It's a relatively small home. I'm going to guesstimate 20 to 30K for an inside renovation. And that's just beautifying everything, updating all the baseboards, updating your woodwork, making it look modern, more comfortable, up to market standard. Okay, where are we at here? I lost track. Okay, so it gives us a pretty wide estimate range when your forecast sold at 16,950. So let's say this wasn't my property. Okay, let's say this one hasn't been fixed, and I'm looking at a home that's similar to this one. Okay, I see, okay, this house sold for 16,951 and needed a complete upgrade on the inside. Outside, we're solid, but the inside needs complete do-over. And let's say, okay, this person with the $90,000 house messages me because it's similar. How would we comp this thing in the same situation? It has one bedroom. We already know that they're going to add some value because of the bedroom here. Was it going to give us 90,000, and it's going to comp mine at I think it was 80. Yeah, what is it? 82. So about 8,000 more for that third bedroom. The square footage is similar. The lot is a little different, but it's close. Okay, so they're going to give us about 8 grand. So you can estimate, use numbers like that to start to determine how much more they're giving you price wise per bedroom and square foot. You can even break it down further and lot until you see these homes, a lot of these, and it's nice when they have pictures because you can get an overall idea of what kind of repairs they needed. Now, if you're doing this, somebody sent you a property virtually, obviously you want to get as many pictures of everything as possible. How I'd approach that is, okay, listen, I understand we're going through the COVID-19 right now. Everybody's scared about the coronavirus, and we should be. Home values are dropping, Mrs. Seller, Mr. Seller. But what I need you to do to make it safe for all of us, we can still purchase your house in this time, but I need you to take very thorough pictures of everything about your house. Everything that's wrong, don't hide anything. We have to create a good relationship and keep an open line of communication for this to work virtually. And then I can make you an offer at that point in time. Since the home is vacant, I'm going to have you put a lockbox on the door, which I will pay for, okay, so that you don't have to be there and we're not exposing other people to potentially a dangerous situation, okay? We'll make sure everything is sanitized and cleaned up, anything that we touch as we go in, so that nothing is transferred, okay? Sound good? And that's how I would approach a virtual situation. And even right now, I would buy everything virtually, unless you can get in and see the vacant house. Now, I'm doing this across country. If you're doing it in your local market, of course, once the lockbox is on, you want to get in, go through, take a look, take a note of everything that don't look right, pay close attention. And where your opportunity really lies here, that's an advantage to you because usually when you go in with a homeowner on your first walkthrough, you're kind of paying attention to the home and what needs done to the home. But what's more important is you're paying attention to the seller. You're trying to get to know the seller. You're building rapport with the seller, creating a trust there so that they're going to be open to your offer. Because before I go into a home, I've already done all this, right? And I know based on the area and what's going on around about what I'm going to need to pay for the home in order to wholesale it out. You got to understand the 70% rule. You know, in some markets it's 80, 84, 85. In some places of Florida, Arizona, and really hot markets. All that's changing though. In some inner cities like Canton, Akron, we were paying 40, 30% of value. In some neighborhoods, less even. It's not uncommon to buy a home for $1,000 in a city like Akron, Cleveland, Canton, Youngstown, in all of Ohio, in a lot of the Midwest as well. We got one over there in, it's in Indiana. Where was it? Terre Haute. We contracted on for $9,000, and this was a decent house. Looked nice on the outside. Didn't need an upgrade on the inside, but even $9,000 was too much. And we found out after about 2 weeks, okay, we've overpaid for this house. It looks great. The neighborhood wasn't bad, but it just wasn't at that sweet spot that landlords were looking for. And you'll find that out as you go too. You know, you're going to dig in here, and your numbers are going to give you a guideline. But really, at the end of the day, it's all about what your buyers are paying for the home. They're the ones determining the price. So if I pay 20, I have it under contract for 20, but investors are all coming in and all walking away. You want to call your buyers, ask your buyers, well, what would you normally pay for this house? Some of them like, I wouldn't buy this one. The ones that would say, I'm more at 12 to 15 on these homes. Once you get that idea, then you're going to start knowing what you need to pay in those certain areas. And the more you do this, the more deals you do, the more familiar with those areas you'll become and what your buyers are paying in those areas. Excuse the motorized bikes. We have them all over the place now. People just drive around their motorized bikes. But yeah, and you'll get more familiar. Most of them, then it gets to the point where it does become a little easier for you too as well, because you won't even no longer really be getting repair estimates, stuff like that. You just know, okay, on this street, in this area, on the east side of Akron, on these 8 blocks, no investor is paying more than $10,000 for a home in this kind of condition. And that's how you will approach your sellers as well. Okay, listen, we're not paying any more than $7,000, $6,000 for any of these houses, all cash, and I'll close for you within the next 30 days. And that's how you have to be. Okay, and the more you get comfortable with that, the more familiar you are with that, the easier these offers will come, the more deals you will do. All right, we're going to jump a little more into it in the next video.